So we did the pin curls, but what do pillow rollers look like? I may not actually be able to do my hair right now. It says sterile vacuum packaging. Let's stand for 1 hour after opening the package. Hopefully they're not as condensed as they look like they are. I think they're okay. I think we're just gonna do it. Motions is my favorite setting lotion so far. I don't know what I'm doing. We're gonna see if it works out. It's kind of cute though. It reminds me of like a rag wrapped up, so I do like it. I do think that these are gonna go in a lot faster than pin curls. I could be doing way too big of segments though too, so they may end up being the same amount of time when I do them right, if this isn't right. It's really cute. Like, I would be okay wearing this as a hairstyle. I think they're adorable. With my hair being so long, I really struggled on these back sections to keep the tension. If you have a friend who can help you, I would recommend having somebody else do it if your hair is as long as mine. Once they were complete, I slept on them for about 15 hours, I believe. And let me tell you, these are the most uncomfortable heatless curls to sleep in. I could not get a single part of my head to not have some sort of pressure point. I really did not enjoy that part of this experience at all. 0 out of 10 do not recommend for sleeping comfortably. After I took them out, I finger brushed, which all of the tutorials say to finger brush pin curls, pillow rollers, all of it. And I think it might just be because my hair is pretty dry and brittle, but it makes it so much harder for me to get a good brush out because the ends just knot and mat up when I'm finger combing them. So play around with your hair. I find that I have an easier time doing my brush out if I don't finger brush it first and I just go in with the brush. For the pillow rollers, I really thought that I was going to be doing bigger segments and that I would just have like some nice soft ringlet style of curls. So you can see here I've started to just do 3 or 4 brush out segments and I don't like that. It looks kind of clumpy. Maybe I'm just not a super fan of how structured curls look with my long hair, but I ended up going through and actually breaking them down into much fewer curls. There was probably 1 curl segment per pillow roller, so I did get pretty good nice ringlets out of it, but for the intention of having like a nice brushed out curl structure, it didn't quite work for me. This was probably one of my most frustrating brush outs. I tried so many different techniques and I just could not get it to sit right or look good, and every time I touched it or looked at it, it actually frizzed up more. But they do say that when you're doing a curl brush out, you just keep working it. So that's what I did. I just worked it over and over and over and over again until I was happy with the results. And you can see here, I touched it wrong and I made it frizz out. It can be super infuriating. This is not something that you want to do when you're in a hurry. I give myself a lot of time and I usually do it on my days off so that I'm not going to work to get it right. After you do the first brush out, when you put it up for like evenings, the next day you just brush out the same segments and it kind of has a curl memory. So that makes it really easy to do for the follow-up days. But that first day, you kind of just never know what's going to happen until you get really good at it. And I've only done a handful of curl sets, so I'm not good at it yet, but finally found some victory here. It looks like for this set, I actually did a lot smaller segments than I had pillow curlers for. I went through and broke them up to be pretty small, and that's what ended up making me the happiest. I think I was comparing it to the other side of my head and I really liked how many curls there were on that other side. So I went through and I broke up all of the clumps into pretty small little ringlet curls, and that's what I ended up sticking with for this type of set. Some of them were too big still, so I was going through and breaking them up even more. When I'm doing my brush outs, I actually use a boar bristle brush pin brush combination. So it's got both the pins and the boar bristle. Usually when you're doing a brush out, you're only going to use a bristle brush, but I cannot make that work. It doesn't get through my hair well enough. My hair doesn't easily tangle, but after it's in a curl set, there's just something about the way that the ends are that makes it so that it just doesn't brush out correctly without having those pins, and it won't get smooth and it won't lose its frizz. My hair is naturally pretty frizzy, so I think that that's just playing over into the curl sets more. It breaks pretty easily, so there's just a lot of little broken parts up and down the whole thing.
Comment below, what is your favorite heatless curling method? I'm planning to try them all, so if you want to see more vintage housewife content, like and subscribe.